Our next honoree has been a steady, generous, and impactful presence for the Tepper community for more than 4 decades. We're honored to recognize John O'Neill as the recipient of the 2025 Tepper Lifetime Service Award. John earned his MSIA in 1980 and built a distinguished career in consulting and executive leadership. He spent more than 22 years at KPMG Consulting and later held senior roles at Unisys and later co-founded Attain, where he served as vice chairman and president until retirement. John's service to Tepper has been remarkable. He has chaired reunion committees, served on the alumni board, supported admissions, and hosted numerous events. He has also advised the school on strategic planning and long-term initiatives. Alongside his wife, Joyce, John has been a dedicated and generous contributor to the school. John's legacy is one of leadership, loyalty, and community. We're proud to honor him for a lifetime of dedicated service to Tepper.
Wow, moving from Paul to Carol brings with it another level of history, I think. You know, standing up here, first of all, thank you to everybody who was on that's part of this process. The alumni board, past and present, particularly, I doubt he's out here, but people like Paul Wellner and others who got me involved in the first place, along with John Sengenberger. So they're names of the past here. It's 45 years, and I'm back for another anniversary reunion. And, all I can say is time flies. And I think my colleagues or classmates who are also here will say something along those lines. But CMU, when I came to CMU, is truly perceived to be and is one of the leading research universities in the country and in the world. And known for innovation, entrepreneurship, and leadership. And coupled with that, the school, GSIA at the time, itself was a place where you developed or came to develop managerial and analytical skills. And with all that, you gained a sense of self-confidence. And I believe wholeheartedly that it launched my career, which was amply described, thank you, in the process of being able to take on some major efforts along the way. And without, I can say the 22 years at KPMG were in the higher education industry. So it was basically, this is where I feel at home the most in dealing with the issues of the day. And those were, just very briefly, places like Harvard. Imagine that back in the early 1990s, I represented Harvard in a major financial review performed by the federal government because of perceptions at that time that they were misusing federal monies on the heels of Stanford and other places. Well, we came out with a very clean review, and that was a big benefit. In dealing with Yale, replacing a 1965 financial and HR system for the university was a major deal. Putting up a new research building for the Massachusetts General Hospital in the Charlestown Navy Yard, if you're familiar with that. So places like, things like that. At Unisys, shortly after I got there, after 9/11, we had won a $1 billion contract to actually stand up TSA, and from a standing start. That was new infrastructure throughout. And I had a role in that process that I couldn't have imagined working on had it not been for the education I received here. And then it went on into other areas. But then the last one was starting my own company with one of my fellow colleagues, and in the depths of the financial recession. I have to thank my wife for letting us put our house up as collateral for that particular effort, but we did. And after 10 years later, I had 700 people in the organization, and it was a great run. During that time, however, I got re-engaged with Carnegie Mellon and with Tepper, and it was first working on the alumni board and the many things that people do as part of that, both as a group and individually with the school. And then working on the strategic plan. I was recruited into that process to help facilitate it. It was the precursor to the current one, which is great, a fantastic plan that is now in play. The one before that was probably the first time that faculty, administrators, students, alumni, board, business board of advisors, and gave input into that structure, and it was a good foundation, I think, to move forward from, and that was very good. And then more recently, we've gotten involved in hopefully. Well, we funded a fellowship for PhD students, which, coming out of a master's class was a little bit different in the funding or in the giving process. But it was the firm belief that we need great teachers, and we need people who are of underrepresented backgrounds to be part of that. So with all that, I can't think of a place I'd rather be than this school, and it's great, and thank you.